Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Shenplays. Welcome to the wonderful world of Kerbal Space Program. Today, we have accepted submissions for the Moon Pole, Bop, and the planet Jool. So since we have missions in the Jool system, we've built a Jool ship. It carries one kerbal quite comfortably, and it has these really heavy launch parts, because why the hell not? 50 gimbal, sure, 50 gimbal. We have these really heavy launch parts, followed by a skipper, followed by, inside the fairing, we have a nuke with 800 units of liquid fuel, followed by 8 xenon engine, or yeah, 8 ion engines. Now, ion engines are pretty crap. They do 2 kilonewtons of thrust each, which is pretty much nothing. But with 8 of them, that's 16 kilonewtons, which is not bad. It's about the same as one of the putt-putt engines, which does 18 kilonewtons. So think of it as having a putt-putt, but it weighs a lot more, but it's also extremely fuel efficient. So we have essentially a putt-putt engine to push around this entire lander, which has huge solar panels, a bunch of batteries, all the science in the world, and room for one kerbal. So let's get this thing launched. We've already fast forwarded until it's the right time for the Jool window. In other words, it's the right time to burn from kerbin to Jool. So all we need to do is launch, get up there, and burn for Jool. Yeah, we are rolling in dough. We have 8 million credits right now. All right. Our scientist today is Marquis de Lafayette. We keep hiring more and more kerbals from Twitch chat, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and launch. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, we're starting off with the 2 solids on the sides here, and the 4,000 thrust liquid engine. It's called the Mammoth for a good reason. It's got 4,000 thrust. That is just nuts. That is nuts. 4,000 thrust. I'm so glad they increased the thrust on this engine. It really makes it viable for super heavy launches. And this isn't really a super heavy launch, but it's big enough that we're going to try using this Mammoth. Is Pilot a pilot? I don't know. I don't think Pilot's been hired, no. Every day we hire a few people from Twitch chat, like 10. And then we go strand them somewhere. Like yesterday, we stranded them on Gilly, right? And today, well, we're not going to strand Marquis. Marquis is going to come home with science. But assuming we get other missions for, like, you know, putting a station around Jool or something, if we get missions for that, then we can strand a bunch of kerbals out there. We'll just hire them from Twitch chat and go strand them out there, and they can sit there and orbit Jool or Lathe or whatever for the rest of eternity. It's great. Okay, let's start our roll. Don't go too far. $4,000 thrust. I just can't believe this engine has so much thrust. If you've ever used any of the parts mods, like KW Rocketry or anything like that, they all have, you know, massive engines for, you know, super heavy launches. Some of them have 5,000 thrust, some of them have 10,000, 12,000 thrust. They're pretty nuts. But this one's pretty respectable at 4,000. It's bigger than anything else in the Kerbal Space industry. Okay, that's enough roll for now. Let's get our time to Apo up to about 50 before we roll any more. We'll probably do a stage separation first. It looks like a giant rocket-propelled grenade. Yeah, it does. This is pretty much what an RPG looks like. Okay, 50 seconds. Let's roll some more. And it's about time for a stage separation as well. Okay, keep it locked in here. We're on a skipper now. And we'll detach the fairing soon enough. Yep, time to Apo looks good. Marquis, are you ready to go to Jool? You ready to go to Jool? Oh, yeah, of course you are. Gosh. This lander is so expensive. The Xenon tanks, each tank costs 22,000 credits. The lander itself is 200 and something thousand credits, just for the lander. It's nuts. NVTS nuts. The ion engines don't cost that much. The giant solar panels don't cost that much. Nothing really costs that much. It's the xenon gas at 22k a pop. Just insanely expensive. Okay, Apo is out to 70k, which does count as orbit, but we'll push it a little further. I'd say a comfortable, for a launch this big, I'd rather go for an apoapsis of like 100k. All right, 77. Well, maybe just go for 80. All right, let's do 80. Pop the fairing. Fantastic. And here we'll push it out to 100. And then we'll circularize out there. There we go. Get on target. It is a 20-second burn, so we'll start at T-minus 10 seconds. Of course, Kerbal alarm clock is going to stop us at 30 because that's my default setting. That's fine. Okay, T-minus 10 seconds, please. And then we'll circularize out at 100k. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we'll do that. Fast forward. Oh yeah, extend the solar panels, of course. I have them on a hotkey to 1. Da, 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 da. Get the lights out, landing gear on. Nice. Looks good. But yeah, we're going to need lots of solar panels for these ion drives. And that's probably the biggest drawback for the ion drives, is they need so much electricity and they produce so little thrust. I mean, they're not bad. They just seem bad. Like, they use 8.7 electricity per second to produce 2 kilonewtons of thrust. Just 2. So these solar panels, at least at Kerbin, they'll produce 24 per second electricity. But at Jool, which is much further away, they'll only produce half as much electricity. So Jool gets half the sunlight that Kerbin does. which means these solar panels won't be as efficient, which means your ions will, well, they'll just essentially just require more juice to make them go. Or at least they require more sunlight to make them go. So we've brought twice as many solar panels as we need for the amount of ion drives we need, because we're going to be we're going to receive half as much sunlight. So we know that we're going to need more. We know that we're going to need more solar panels for the amount of sunlight. It's a very short burn here. Okay, so at 8 seconds, we'll start the burn. I just lowered our thrust. 9, 8, go. Okay, and we're going to start our burn to Jool with the skipper engine. That's fantastic. And then we'll switch over to the nuke, and then we'll switch over to the ions. We'll probably be able to complete the burn with the nuke, and then we'll use the nuke to finalize our approach to Jool. And maybe even to slow down at Jool. That's possible. Depends how much fuel we really get on the nuke. Apparently it's 1,700 delta V on the nuke. That's not that much. Okay, so what angle do we want on the burn to Jool? Let's find out. Let's see, kerbin. I'm using ksp.olex.biz. That's ksp.olex.biz. And it is an awesome website to show you what you need to go. It looks like it's going to cost us 1,900 delta V just to go to Jool. So we're going to go through all of our nuke and all of our skipper just to get to Jool. That's fine. Check our map. How's it look? Looks about right. Jool's, yeah, pretty much 90 degrees ahead of us. That's what we want. And we're going to start our burn at about, what's that? 90, maybe 105? Maybe 110? Something like that. We're going to burn. If this line is vertical, our orbit, if our line is vertical, then we're going to burn like right about here. Something like that. And just go prograde. Oh, too far. Set target. Yeah, it looks like Jool's in the right plane. So the plane's not going to be a problem. At least, it doesn't seem like the plane's going to be a problem. If the plane's a problem, we should adjust it before we do this burn, because that could really... Well, no, it should be fine. I'm going to say it could really screw with our approach, but it should be okay. There we go. Now, one thing that really sucks about the Jool area is you have to think of Jool as a separate star system. It has these really big moons, these 3 inner moons, Lathe, Vol, and Tylo. They're large enough to really screw up your approach. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to come in somewhere around Bop. We're not going to aero brake at Jool. No way. All of our parts will just break off with the aero brake at Jool. So we're going to come in somewhere around Bop, and we're going to try to circularize our orbit around Jool in that area. So we need to get this much, much closer. We're currently going to be 2 billion meters away. Believe it or not, 2 billion meters is kind of far. Can we come closer, please? There we go. That's getting closer. It's kind of weird how the approach is like blinking on and off. I wish it could be stable. Yeah, that approach is wonky. Like super wonky. Okay, that's better. It's not wonky anymore. I think Bop goes... You know, actually, I don't know. Which way does Bop go? I guess if we fast forward time a bit, we'll see where Bop goes. Which way are the planets orbiting? They're going clockwise. Okay. They're going clockwise, so we're going to want to come in over here. Okay, and we're going to want this to go up. Yeah, something like that. We'll be very close to Bop's plane. That looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, we'll do something like that, and then we'll figure it out from there. Yep, CX Gentis, have a good night. Okay, well, let's get on target. It is a 14-minute burn. I think I can lower that by putting thrust at max. Okay, it's an 8.5-minute burn. We're going to start the burn at 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Looks like we're going to be in the dark when we do the burn, but that's okay. Man, Marquis, you really don't get out much, do you? It looks like her face is about to explode. She's so excited to go on this mission. Okay, it's about time. Oh, shoot, I waited too long. Oh, shit. I thought it said 3 minutes 50, but... Oh, shit. Well, I fucked up our burn. That could be a big problem. Yep, big problem. Well, oh well. We'll do some adjustments. Now we're on to the nuke. This could be a big problem. I hadn't even thought of this, but the nuke burning for, what, 8 minutes? The nuke has 8.5 minutes of burn in it. I'm pretty sure that's going to cause some shit to explode. Okay, we can do some time acceleration here, I think. We're on 4x time acceleration here. Typically, you don't want to time accelerate when you're thrusting, but since it's a nuke, this is probably what we're going to be doing. With nukes and ions, I'm probably just going to be time accelerating quite a bit. It's actually not letting me go to 4x. And now it dropped down to 2x. Yeah, it's not even letting me do 3x anymore. Oh, it's not even letting me do 2x. Oh, because of sphere of influence. Oh, yeah. It was a Kerbal alarm clock reason, that's why. Okay, we're back to 4x time acceleration. And nothing's overheating yet. That's fantastic. There you go. We just had the camera change over, which means we're leaving Kerbin now. Great. Bye, Kerbin. Okay, there's some overheating. That's not great. Hopefully nothing gets too terribly hot. But I hadn't thought of this, but yeah, we really are running into some heat problems. Probably gonna have to throttle back, or maybe even just eject it and go with the ions. Yeah, maybe we just dump it and go with the ions. Do I even care if this explodes? I'm not even sure it matters if this explodes. Because we're not even gonna... Well, maybe it does matter. I don't know. Hello, sun. Okay, we're down under a minute on the total burn. 48 seconds. 40 seconds. Wow, it's just hovering at 40 seconds for a long time. Ah, because it expects us to switch over to ions, of course. Okay, ions. Bye, nuke. Yeah, with 8 ions, It's just so slow. Do we even have an encounter yet? We do. Okay. And it's actually getting worse. So let's try turning around. It's actually getting us farther away because our burn was just off. So if I burn directly backwards, does that help? Oh, goodness. Please go directly backwards. Yes, that helps. Okay. So we'll burn backwards until we get into the jool influence area. You can see we have 2 hours and 14 minutes of burn time, which is hilarious. Gosh, this is just weird how it's like, maybe you have an encounter, maybe you don't, maybe you do, maybe you don't. There we go. That's better. That's a little better. Solid encounter. Okay, so let's fiddle with it from there. Shouldn't get heat problems with ions. It's not like a nuke. So let's fiddle with it here. So if we go down, okay, and then this way, and then down. I mean, that's essentially what we want, is just going down and that way. All right, that looks good. Let's do that. It's a whopping 2 minutes and 13-second burn. Just go. Yeah, ion burns take a long time. So we're going to use some time acceleration here. To do time acceleration while you're burning, you hold down Alt and then use the normal fast forward and slow down buttons. It basically does physical time acceleration even though you're not in an atmosphere. But it's really useful when you're using nukes or ions or something else that, you know, just doesn't really have much thrust. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's very close to what I want. All right, Marquis, are you ready to go? I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. A long time. So let's go do this sphere of influence change, changing from kerbin to the sun. Okay, come on. Give it a few more seconds. It'll always keep fucking up. There's weird things that happen around sphere of influence changes. And if you just ignore it and let it go and let it do its thing, if you just let it do its thing, it will eventually give you whatever information it showed you earlier. In other words, it goes through like 2 or 3 transitions when it does sphere of influence changes. And if you just ignore it and let it do all of its transitions, then your sphere of influence change will be fairly accurate. However, if you fast forward at all during any type of sphere of influence change, it will frequently screw up the data and give you new data, which could be somewhere very far away from where you expected it to be. All right, now that we've left, there we go. What did we get? We got, I don't know what that is. Apparently that's accurate. So apparently it screwed up our approach entirely. I don't know how it screwed it up, but it did. Look at that. So let's try to fix it. There we go. Okay, fix it. How do we fix it? We go down. There we go. Yeah, it put us way, way farther away than we were. I don't know what caused that, but sphere of influence change. There you go. Okay, that's pretty close. That looks good. Let's do that. It's a 30-second burn. Okay. Okay, almost ready. 3, 2, 1, burn. Yeah, I wish I really understood what causes it to do things like that. I think it's just the game itself calculates things differently than what it shows you on the screen. What it shows you on the screen here in the map mode is just one of the many calculations it does, and it's not always accurate. All right, come on in. Come on in. Now, in the past, I would use Jool's massive atmosphere to aerobrake, save us a ton of delta V. But these days, no. No. Well, let's go say hello to Bop. Well, that's probably not how we want to encounter Bop, really. Probably want to have something like this, where we can encounter Bop just by waiting a few years. And yes, I do mean waiting a few years. And then eventually our orbit will be close enough to his orbit where we can do just a small burn and get an encounter. But just approaching like this, there's like no chance in hell we'll be there at the right time for an encounter, because Bop is actually a very small object. Not as small as Gilly. Gilly is tiny. But Bop is small enough that we could miss it, you know? So we're probably going to want to do something like this where we're just, you know, watch it from top down and watch everything come around until something comes close enough to do a burn to get where we want to go. But for now, let's go ahead and fast forward. It's going to be 2 years. Yeah, 2 years and 147 days before we even get to the Jool system. It's going to be a while. So let's fast forward 2 years and 147 days. Yeah, it's a 13-minute burn, but we can use time acceleration to make it 1/4 of that. So maybe 3.5 minutes. It's not that bad. But yeah, these missions that we took, the time limits on these missions were like 40 years and 34 years. Because it really does take a long time to get out here from Kerbin to Jool. Oh, Jool, you green beast. Normally when I come here, I just come with nukes. But I'm really sick of the heat problems that nukes have. Nukes are fucking amazing. Their vacuum efficiency is massive. It's just awesome. But the problem is they overheat. So you can really only use them for, well, you can use them safely for like short bursts of thrust. But if you want to use them for your entire mission, which I normally used to do, you're going to have to find a way to get rid of the heat. And I don't think the game has any modules to dissipate heat. I've seen mods that have heat dissipation, and they look like giant solar panels. You just unfold them and heat magically dissipates. But there's nothing in the base game for heat dissipation. So using nukes for like a really, really long burn just doesn't seem to be a good idea. However, I mean, we've done it already a few times where we just manage the burn. We lower the thrust, or we turn off the nukes, or whatever. You can manage the burn to where the nukes really aren't that big of a or aren't that big of a handicap. You can still sort of make it work. It's just not as awesome as it otherwise would be. Like, you can't just put them at full throttle and just go. Still got 155 days. Holy shit. Okay. Here's Jool in 50 days. Oh, finally. Finally, we're here. And again, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let the sphere of influence come and do whatever it wants to do. This line will turn blue when we have entered Jool's sphere of influence. You will see a transition period where the game is like, I don't know what's going on. There we go. So is that it? Are we good? That looks about right. Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, let's set Bop as target. We'll probably want to do a burn to change our plane, but we'll do that a little bit later. For now, let's get our high over Jool science. Let's get a crew report. 30 science, very good. This planet is a wholesome green color. You note down that more planets should be this color. Oh, yes. Good thinking, Marquis. More planets should be green. Now that's some real science. Get a goo canister. 60 science. Get a materials bay. The computer gave an odd report no matter how many times we sent the request. Open the sample bay doors. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, was the only reply. The doors did open very promptly when we opened the fuse box panel. Very curious. Get a temperature reading. 48 science, very good. Barometer, 72. Seismometer is not going to work. Atmospheric thing's not going to work. We can get a gravioli though. 120 graviolis, I love it. Alright, let's hop out. Now I did test this back on Kerbin, so the ladder should work. Take the crew report first. Get an EVA report, of course. High over Jool. Great. The ladder should work. Yeah, there we go. Just walk right down the ladder. I love it. Okay, take the materials bay. Let's restore it. Oh, shit. You know what? This will probably work. This will probably work. Take the goo key. Oh, yeah, it's fine. I was going to say, oh no, the doors are in the wrong spot. I apparently attached this service bay without even checking if the ladder was in the right spot. But, you know, it doesn't seem to matter. We can still do this. No problem. No problem. Let's switch over to the other ladder. Gotta be careful we don't break anything off this craft, like the solar panels. That'd be bad. That's why I put in these extra long ladders, so we have less chance of fucking up. Take the data. Take the data. Alright, I think we're good to go. And get back in. There we go. Alright, let's high overjool. We're not going to do a low overjool pass. That'll have to be some other mission to go low overjool. Today is high overjool. And let's get ready for our burn here. It's going to be a long burn. So let's see if we set it up for 7 minutes. It didn't change it. Okay, is that correct? 7 minutes? I hope so. It says 7 minutes, but I didn't see this number change. If I change it to 9, does it change? Oh yeah, it does. I'm not sure I trust it. Well, I hope it's right. I'm gonna do a quick save here, F5, because I'm not sure if I can trust this thing. I hope so. Anyway, fast forward. It's still 50 more days until we even get to the burn. Eight, 7, alright. No, I don't want the alarm. Stupid alarm. Okay, we'll start at 6 minutes 53. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It won't really matter. It just needs to be close. Throttle up. And let's do some physical time warp. And apparently this is not enough electricity. Are you kidding me? There's nothing blocking the sun, nothing at all. And this is not enough electricity. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. It's only running on 4. Oh no. Okay, well, there you go. Apparently this is not enough solar for 8 ions. Let's turn off the lights. That's not going to help too much. The lights barely draw any power at all. Wow, this is going to take a long time if this is all the electrics we can do. Well, what the? What is going on with the game? What the fuck? Woo! Okay, that's better. Apparently if you hold Alt, you can change your field of view by scrolling the mouse wheel. Oh, look at that. Whoa! Whoa, I didn't know that. Look at that. Woo, look at the little sun out there. It's adorable. Wow. That's interesting. So hold Alt and then scroll your mouse wheel. SAS? Oh, good idea. Thank you. Nope, 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 nope. We're drifting. Gotta have SAS. Well, we learned something today. We learned that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solar panels is not enough for 8 ion drives. At least not around Jool. Around Kerbin, it's fine. But around Jool, we probably need more solar. Wow, this is, it's gonna be a long burn. Well, we have tons of fuel. That's nice. But yeah, we can only use 4 ion drives, and we're only getting 1.2 kilonewtons out of each. Holy moly. What's up, Jool? Well, why don't I do this burn and then we'll come back when it's done, because it's going to be another 10 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. So we got ourselves an orbit out here. It's a very elliptical orbit. I don't really care. And now what we're going to do is do a plane adjustment to get our plane to match BOP more closely. And look at this! On our second pass, we're going to have something pretty close to BOP. I like it. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of delta V to get captured by BOP. I know. And our delta V calculator up here in Kerbal Engineer is going to be wrong because it's going to assume we have all of our engines to work with. We don't. But if I turn off 4 of them, no, it still doesn't change the calculation. Yeah, I've already turned off 4 of them, but Kerbal Engineer is still assuming that I have all 8 when I don't. So these numbers here are going to be wrong, but it's still pretty good. Okay, so let's go do this burn. It's going to be in 20 days. All right. Thank you, Kerbal Engineer. I love how it just slows down the game and then pauses. Like, yep, that was nice. Alright, NAN, I'll take it. Alright, done. So we have ourselves the same plane, pretty much. Less than 0.1 deviance. And now all we need to do is adjust our approach, which we can do out here. And get ourselves an interaction. There we go. Oh man, we are so lucky. Coming in 223 kilometers, which is pretty far away. Do I want to crash into Bop? Let's not crash into Bop. 8 kilometers, maybe a little higher. 83? That's a little far. 40, probably go for like 20. What? D7, huh? 12. That's not terrible. Wow, so touchy. Come on, man. Now, there is a mod called Precise Node, which can make this much, much easier to do, instead of all this stupid bullshit we're going through. But at the end of the day, my burn is not going to be perfect anyway, so I don't know why I'm worried about it. 51, whatever. My burn's not going to be amazing anyway, because this thing is running on 4 engines instead of 8. It's a 0.2 second burn. So we should be able to finesse it just by going at less than full throttle. Wow, look at all those moons spinning around. Look at them go. Look how slow we're moving out towards our periapsis out there. It's insane. Or apoapsis, I mean. The further you are away from an object, the slower you go. Well, I mean, assuming you're orbiting it. So this is essentially just pure retrograde burn. So we are going to go at minimum thrust, pure retrograde. The part that's going to be tough is slowing down and getting orbit on Bop. Getting captured by Bop is going to be really hard with these ions. Now granted, we'll have full battery at the time we go, so we can probably turn all the engines on, which we'll do, and that'll make it a little easier. But we won't have, you know, many minutes of thrust. We'll have, you know, maybe a minute at the most. Wow, that is pretty erratic. What the fuck? Game? We are not under any thrust at all, and look at this. That's nice. Oh, we no longer have an intersection. What? Oh, now we do. What the fuck? Look at that. That is just wonky. Okay, now it says we do. I'm just going to stick with that and assume it's fine. You're saying it's because it's the Unity engine using 32-bit floats? Well, I still feel like they could do it better somehow. You know? It could simply be wildly inaccurate because we're so far away at the time, but even then... Okay, so if we start burning retrograde right now, well, let me see. If I say I want orbit, how many delta V's are we? A lot? Because I'm wondering if we should just start this burn, like, now. Oh, no. We got time. Okay. So I'm going to turn all the engines back on. Okay, all 8 engines are back. And it is a whopping 5.5 minute burn. So we might want to turn 4 of the engines off again, I'm not sure. But we do have some time before the burn. Wow, we are really close to Bop. Holy shit. Look how close we are to this thing. Okay, sphere of influence change coming up. 10 seconds. Try not to touch anything or else it could fuck it all up. I'm just going to delete the maneuver. We'll make a new one. Okay, we are now considered high over Bop. Let's go ahead and get some high over Bop readings. Crew report. It appears to be a large brown rock. Perhaps an old asteroid? Ooh, maybe. Let's get Marquis out. Go ahead and take that data. Store that data. Get an EVA report. 64 science. Very good. Do the materials study. 200 science. Nice. Get the goo canister. 80 science. Can't do the seismometer. Okay, hop off. Okay, next up is the gravioli detector. 160 science, very nice. Oh, I forgot the thermometer. Whoops. Get the pressure data. And I can't do the thermometer until I go back to the other ladder. Alright. Grab, please. Okay, thermometer is over here. Got it. Measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible, as there is no matter around the craft that's either hot or cold. Indeed. But you still got some damn science. That's what matters. Okay, well there's Jool. Where's Bop? There it is. Hi, Bop. What up, Bop? Okay, that is... See, down here, I'm starting to trust this down here a little more, because the last time I thrusted was with 4 engines, right? So this is probably more accurate. If I shut down every other engine... then that should be accurate. So we'll start it at 4.5 minutes, something like that. Hi, Bob. Hello. What would be really horrific is if we don't have any sunlight when we need to do a big burn. Where's the goddamn sun? I don't know. There it is. Okay, so we do have some sunlight here. Good. Okay, so about 4:30 we'll start. Throttle up. And we'll do some physical time acceleration here. Oh goodness, even 4 engines is using all of our juice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This could be a problem. Yep, there goes our electricity. Well, let's hope that changes. Welcome to the inconvenience of ion drives. It's only using 3 engines right now. Wow. Oh, goodness. What if we just want to adjust our burn? Like our angle. Because if we adjust our angle, we could get more sunlight. That doesn't really help. Oh man, it's trying to turn that one on. It's just not happening. Crap. Yeah, this is just... Using ion drives is just a pain in the dick. If I had brought like 1 billion electricity, like just mountains of batteries, then maybe this wouldn't be such a big deal. But I don't have mountains of batteries. I didn't know this would be such an amazingly large problem out here. Hello, please keep SAS on. This sucks. No, we did unlock power generators. I probably should have put a few on here. But the ion drives suck 8.7 electricity per second. The power generators don't generate anywhere near that, so you need a ton of them. Not to say that we couldn't do it with that. That's certainly an option. Especially if we're going to be having problems with the angles of our solar panels as well, which we are. But... you know, we've already launched this, and we're already out here, so I would like to just continue with it if possible. We may not be able to, though. We are pushing our escape out, which means we are eventually going to get orbit. If we continue along this trajectory with this thrust, we will get orbit. It's just going to take a goddamn long-ass time. $14 years later? Yeah. Well... Gosh. Y'all come back when this is, you know, somewhere closer to orbit. Yay! We got orbit. It only took God knows how long. Holy crap. These tanks still aren't dead. We have barely touched our fuel. The only thing that's holding us back is the fact that we can't turn all of our damn engines on. Okay, throttle off. Let's go ahead and get ourselves actual orbit. There we go. Roll over, please. Please. Are we on the dark side of the planet now? No? Maybe? If we're on the dark side of the moon, then we're not going to be able to get any electricity. We're not going to be able to roll. Oh, there's the sun. No, we're not on the dark side. Well. Roll over? Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. Derp. Alright, come on out here. We'll adjust it. It really didn't take that long to achieve orbit. It just took a lot longer than you would expect. And yeah, I think if I would rebuild this, I would definitely go with generators. Because this is silly. Hey, Jaeger Marine 511, thanks for subbing, man. Okay, let's burn just a little bit here. Throttle up. $18K works for me. And then we need to get this closer. We're obviously going to land on the bright side of the planet here, or the mun, because, well, there's just no way in hell it would make any sense to land on the dark side, because we wouldn't have any electricity. But yeah, I really feel like generators are the way to go, and I feel kind of silly that we haven't done that. We unlocked generators a long time ago, and it doesn't take, you know, an insane amount of generators to produce enough electricity for ion drives. So we probably could have gotten away with maybe, you know, a 10-ton block of generators to provide enough electricity for all of our ions. Alright, let's just start thrusting now. Keep an eye on our parry, make sure it doesn't get too low. The apo as well. If I can click on it. No, please click on it. Thank you. Yeah, it looks fine. We've burned half of our electricity already. We don't even have this rounded yet. Circularized, whatever. That's okay. We'll get there. I think I will dump the extra weight, though. We do have 2 extra xenon tanks that it looks like we're not going to need. Okay, are we low? Is 21K low? Let me check. Isn't there a website that has this data? Sure there is. Is it that one? No, it's this one. Okay, so low over BOP is under 25K. Perfect. That means we're low over BOP. Let's go ahead and get our crew report. As you stare at the planet, it's not a planet. Something flits by the window. Is there something moving down there? It's not a planet. God damn it, game. I do like the text, though, something moving down there, because there is something moving down there. And we're going to go find it. Okay, EVA report, please. Materials bay. Yep. Go ahead and take the science. Reset the box. Goo canister. And thermometer. Lots of science. Barometer. And graviolis. Man, I would love some graviolis right about now. Holy shit. Ooh. Alright, we're back in. So we have high over BOP, and now we have low over BOP. Now we just have to land. Throttle up.
Okay, but before we land, there is something we need to do. Okay, that looks good. Unfortunately, that's a very long burn. Hopefully we have enough battery for this shit. And we don't really have fantastic sun exposure here. It's okay. Oh, we're going to need a lot more battery than that. Okay, it looks like that's not happening, which really sucks. Yeah. Well, maybe if we time accelerate a little bit. No. I mean, we're still thrusting, it's just so low. Alright, turn off thrust. Let's get our batteries back up. Let's just land. Damn it. I was really hoping to do something cool. Well, maybe we still can. Maybe we still can if we charge up our batteries. Right? Maybe? What the fuck? Okay. No, no, this isn't gonna work. I think we have to go with generators. This just isn't working. Yep. Yep. Rip Marquis de Lafayette. Rip. Mega rip. Oh, goodness. Bye! Whee! She lived! You are fucking kidding me. You are fucking kidding me. She does look a little panicked, though. Alright, we got some monopropellant here. Let's slow the hell down, please. We're going a little quick. Wow. And let's put her down. we're actually going to thrust downward here, which sounds like a dangerous proposition, but it should be okay. Holy hell, she fucking lived. I don't even believe it. She looks happy too. Well, we now have a kerbin on Bop. She may be freaking out a bit. But you know what? Who the fuck cares? Good job, Marquis de Lafayette. Good fucking job. Oh, if only we didn't have a battery problem. Anyway, I think that'll do. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, Bop.